Hello, 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 family. Welcome back to the Reiki Healing Hope community. I forgot her name. So today I have a special treat, and I have kind of a little bit of a story. Not even a story. I broke the mic stand in the middle of a healing last week. So I had to get a new stand, but now we have so much more room. So I'm going to resurrect our card pulling. So now that I have enough space for you all to see. But I'm so excited to see you all. How is this Mercury retrograde been doing for you? It has been a whole hot mess for me, but a good hot mess. Yes, a good mess. So, how's it been for you? Okay, interesting. So, let's get started by saying our usual prayer and set the intention and jump right in, okay? Do I have your permission to say a prayer? Okay, sounds good. Let me get your hand. Okay. Dear Mother, Father, God, and all of our highest good, connect us to the Reiki Masters, the Ascended Masters, Master Jesus, Master Buddha, Master Katumi, our archangels, ancestors, lineage, spirit animals, spirit guides, and all for our highest vibrational good only. Root us down as a community, connect us into our individual healing path, and allow us to raise our vibrations in order to move forward in our evolutionary path. And I say all of this in the name of I am. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. So let's get into the cards. Now, I chose 3 different types of decks. Now, shout out number one. I don't know why I just froze right there. I was like, shout out number 1. Who am I shouting out to? Shout out number 1 to Refocus. Boom. There's a video right here. And they do, Refocus is my sister, and she does card reviews so good. She just started on YouTube, so please go show her some love. I'm going to leave a video up. So, boom. So, in the spirit of that, I'm going to do 3 different readings. So whichever cards you're drawn to, that's the one that you can focus on. And you know me, this is your life. So if you want this card, and that card, you do that too. You do whatever it is that makes sense to you. Okay. Oh, I'm just so excited, you all. I don't know why. I missed you. I missed you all. And I don't know if you felt the same way as I did for these past 2 days that I usually post, but I missed you all. I was like, I need to get back to community. So besides that, let's get into the actual reading, because I just am talking. Okay. So this first deck is the Rider-Waite deck. And what I'm getting right now is we have 2 Pentacles and we have a Sword card. Now, I don't use this deck often. Let me let you see that. I don't use this deck often because I'm not gonna lie to you. Sometimes it feels, when I say negative, sometimes it feels like glass half empty than full. But I think it's more of your perspective. And I think because this is kind of like the standard for tarot decks, you just kind of get used to the same interpretation of things. And I think that's really what it is, you know. So I'm gonna just leave it at that. So that first card, which is the 7 of Pentacles. Pentacles, of course, as you can tell, the Pentacles has a lot to do with money, a lot to do with the earthly things. And this 7 of Pentacles is really expressing hard work, so that if there's something that you want, you have to work for it. But at the same time, it might be like you have to work for it. So you're like, like I gotta, like a farmer, like someone who goes to farm a field, it's all that work before the plants actually grow. If they do grow, there's so many things that happen in trying to farm. So this is just letting you know is that you're in search of this income, these kind of earthly, material, physical things. Energetically, it's manifesting down, then it's hard work. But what I'm receiving from this as well is that it could also be you need to change your mindset. Regardless of whatever you do, you're going to have to work hard. But if it becomes a situation in which you believe that you can only receive if you're working hard, you will exactly manifest that. So it's both a card of understanding that principle, you got to work hard, as well as upside down, internally reflecting on, okay, am I only attracting situations in which I have to work? And it doesn't always mean money. It can be relationships too. Do you only attract relationships in which you have to work hard at? Because that's what you believe. And what you believe, you're strong enough to manifest that. So that's something to really think about. And that was the Seven of Pentacles. Our next card is the Eight of Pentacles. Now, again, we're still talking about hard work. This really ties in to both of these. Being the next card in the series for these Pentacles, this card has to me, has more of a feeling of, you know what you need to do, and you're less worried. Like, you see the worry on his face. You're less worried, and you're more of like, okay, I've come to a conclusion. So this is telling you that you're going to get a clear understanding or a clear resolution of how you feel about your working environment, and you're just going to get into it. And I told you it could be about relationships. It can be about anything that is important to you. It can be about your passions too. You're going to get to a place where you make peace with what makes sense to you, and you're just going to get to work. So this is telling you, this is where you started. This is where you're going to go. And energetically upside down, do this work on the inside with I was going to say Jupiter, with Mercury going into retrograde November 1st, October 30th, November 1st. This energy is inward. So if you try to do these external things, you're probably going to have quite a bit of roadblocks, things not happening the way that you want. But it's more of an internal reflection, so that once Mercury goes direct, you can really jumpstart your work and just do that plan that you set. And the King of Swords. When I look at swords, what comes to me is executing, both in the executing and the executing of tasks. Sometimes it can give it can be very strategic, very mental, but also action oriented, that it's deliberative. And so the King of Swords may be that your highest intention is that you really want to own what you do. Everything that you do, you want to do it precisely to the purpose that you have put out there to do. Now, in order to get here, you have to get here, because these cards were a different direction than this. So this is a card to get to eventually. So let's think about it. So if you, in your meditation work, I tell you this all the time, do your meditation work. If you, in your meditation work, are really thinking over these themes, then you're setting yourself up to execute and to be this person. This person is the person who's already worked through. They already put all their hard work in. They already understand their demeanor. Demeanor is so important to be a strong leader. You can't be the person who's like really frazzled and explodes and has these outbursts. And you'll see it a lot at work. People do that. They have these outbursts, and that's how they control, or that's how they try to kind of get away with not owning how they feel at work. But if you are a leader, the job of a leader is bringing security to other people. You know, you have to set the rules, but the rules should be for the highest good of all. And so if you want to get there, definitely reflect on these two themes here. So that's Rider Waite. So the next one is sacred geometry. Sacred geometry it gives like these really macro view kind of readings. Okay, your first one. Let's see. First one being change. Ooh, oh my gosh. I love this. I'm sorry to be more excited about this deck, but I love this. And it says the frequency of change supports our ability to gracefully dance with the forever changing nature of reality, both inward and outward, so that we can appreciate the sweet release of the old and the birth of the new. Now, change, oh my gosh. Right now, this is the most important thing that we are all facing now. And it's really kind of like this elemental secret of changing your life. I can't use the same word, of raising your vibrations. Now, if you feel stuck in your life, financially, emotionally, health-wise, people, whatever it is, this is going to be your saving grace. This is what's going to jumpstart your life. This is the only way that you, being where you're at and feeling like maybe I don't have the resources, I don't have the will, this is the only way you're going to get to the next level. The reason why, if you are at a certain state where you are not satisfied with your life in whatever capacity or multiple capacities, and you sit and you think and you reflect in your meditation practice, you feel what it is that you want, and now you need to bridge the gap between who you are and where you want to go. This is what's going to happen. And what you do to get yourself to where you want to go is you have to raise your vibrations. You raise your vibrations by putting yourself in a situation that your normal self would be too afraid to do, but it's something that you always wanted to do. Or you raise your vibration to meet the person that you want to be, and that requires change. You can't get to where I'm just going to be honest with you. You cannot get to where you want to be without this. And I'll give an example for myself this weekend. In the spirit of trying to continue to evolve and raise my vibrations, you all know that I love my hobbies, and singing is one of those hobbies that I've been loving for so long. But I had such a stage fright for many years because the first time I ever sang, I sang in a competition. And I just got blown out the water. I think I talked about it on the channel before. And so this year, I really felt like this is something that I want to focus on. So I got a vocal coach. I've been working with a vocal coach for a year. And so thank you everyone who likes the way that my voice sounds. That's probably a part of it. And so last night I actually went out and I did my first open mic. It was a live band and it went so well. When I got up there, I was not even nervous. And I knew that I had been asking the universe for some other things. And the message I received was, well, you have to go do this because you have to take yourself and raise your vibrations to a place that you didn't want to be. So I know some people can just get up on stage and not even worry about it. Me, anything else, I can do it. But for singing, it has been so tough. So putting myself in that position opens me up to be more receptive to what I see around me. And for me, what I was asking was, I want to change my financial situation or my financial energy because I want to get out of all my debt, but I want to aggressively get out of debt. So help me see opportunities in front of me so that I am able to, take a hold of them. And let me tell you, things started coming to me, things that were in front of my face this entire time. And I'm like, whoa, wow. Didn't realize what I was blinding myself to because I was closing off. Next thing. Ooh. Look, this is important two ways. Mercury, which we're going into, we're in this pre-shadow, controls communication, as well as this is how you get yourself out there. That throat chakra, that energy, you just put yourself out there. It starts off by just expressing to someone that you feel like has the connection you need. Hey, this is what I'm interested in. You don't have to do it or not, but just have enough courage to communicate that. Let me see what it says. The frequency of communication supports our ability to exchange information in many different forms. It reminds us to run every piece of information, both incoming and outgoing, through our heart, the center of truth, to stay in the flow of source and balance exchange. So you can even interpret that as what we do here. You take what you need, you leave what you don't, you move on, and you trust yourself first. So even understanding the communication that you're having with people, if you're someone who's reserved and you want to start opening up, you do not have to be boundaryless. You can take what you need, leave what you don't have to feel bad for it. And that if you're one of those people who feel like you have to do everything and that's why you kind of close off, that's more about valuing you than it is about others taking advantage of you. You have to put yourself in a situation in which someone can come in and take advantage of you before they can actually come take advantage of you. So really take that moment to value your life. And how you value your life is that you literally take what you need from your life, not from others, but from your life. So if it's time, you take that time from your life and you prioritize yourself. If it's, a purpose or something that you are building up to, you take that from your life. Other people's life, no, you can't be, trying to micromanage other people, but in your life you can. And our next one, I'll let you see it first before I see it. Let's see what it is. Oop, delight. Oh my goodness. It says the frequency of delight supports our capacity to create and experience feelings of intense joy and happiness. The more delight we feel, the more delight we invoke in others. This is gratitude. Moving yourself energetically through life with gratitude, with excitement, with purpose. Letting this be the backbone of what you do. Like, let yourself really enjoy what you do. That's the main point of this all. It doesn't mean that you're never going to experience setbacks. It doesn't mean that you won't be sad or things won't happen at times, but let this be your main vibrational force, because happiness, joy, things like that, those are higher vibrational things, and they put you in a higher vibrational state to be more receptive to the things that you really want. So delight is so important, and live your life full of gratitude. When you wake up in the morning, you can let the first thing you do be to think about everything you're grateful for. Maybe one or two things you're grateful for, to start your day off in a positive mindset, so that you're less of like, oh, this is not going to go well, or that's not going to go well. Just start your day off by thinking of the things that you're most grateful for. Oh my gosh, I think this row is mine. So now let's get into Moonology. Now, Moonology actually, for me, has a similar energy to the traditional tarot deck. Even though this is an oracle deck, this is an oracle deck. For those who do not know, and shout out again to Repocus, who goes through deck reviews, but the tarot is based off of the tarot set. So you're always going to have the pentacles, or something that looks like the pentacles, the swords, the wands, your major cards and things like that. Oracle deck is more of an interpretation of different systems or different things. So it's less about kind of the written rules of what this means, and more about the interpretation of how you feel in the moment and how it's applied to you. I like the oracle decks because it gives me more wiggle room. But Moonology has a very tarot feeling. It can give you some lessons. So let's see what the first thing is. Ooh, a new romantic cycle begins. Now, I'm going to interpret this as internally romantic, and this can be people outside, a new partner, your own partner. But I think the basis of any of these external experiences, I know they're important, but they really don't matter. What matters the most is that it's happening internally, because you cannot attract or receive anything that you do not feel on the inside about yourself. So you literally have to date yourself. So if you want romance, like we talked about here, working hard and things like that, you have to do the hard work within yourself. You have to love yourself. You have to be the person that you're like, wow, I would love to hang out with me. I would love to go on a date with me. I would love to do these things. And you have to be so at peace with yourself that when you are with someone else, you're not trying to project onto them what you're experiencing on the inside. Now, every relationship realistically is going to have things that it needs to go through and work out. That's normal. It doesn't need to be perfect, but it's more of like, you don't have to work out every little thing that you feel and project it onto your relationship. Some stuff is just your stuff to work out, and let your relationship be a place of joy, delight, fun, building up. Let yourself have compassion, understanding for the person. Maybe you know that if you fall hard, that you don't fall so fast, so that you don't get crazy quick. Take your time. Just date. One thing I always say that I feel like my fiance did the right way. She went out here and she dated. She dated multiple people. She was enjoying her life. I was the type of person where, I always knew what I wanted. So I wanted one person, and I couldn't really focus on multiple people. And I think it made me feel like all or nothing going into relationships. And now that I look back, the advice I would give would be, hey, enjoy yourself. Be honest with people. Be open. Don't feel like you gotta jump just because you see this person. They make you excited that one moment. That's the fun part of dating. Be out there, date people, be honest. Don't lie to them. Don't say that you're not dating other people, but just take your time. In the right person y'all will work through it together. Y'all will start to show. Let this person be your friend. Let this person be someone that you like romantically, in an intimate way, and all of these things. Take your time. There's no rush. This is the best time of life. I have a friend who, she was talking about just dating for fun, and I was like, okay, I mean, yes, I'm there. I want you to date for fun, but I know you really want a relationship, so I don't want you to lie to yourself and say you're dating for fun and then still be upset. No. If you want a relationship, you're going to have to approach this differently than dating for fun. And you have to be honest with yourself. You might find that you're like, look, I ain't got time to do all of this out here. I know exactly what I want. If that's how you feel, perfect. Only deal with people who also feel that way. Do not deal with someone that you're trying to change. Do not let somebody try to change you. Y'all can grow together. But let me get off my soapbox, because I just want people to enjoy themselves, have a good time, be safe, all that stuff. Okay. Look, we have this just continued theme throughout our reading today. And this one is your hard work is paying off. So that gives me this energy of the 8th pinnacle, of working hard and it's paying off. So if you're doing that work, and you're not doing the work of like meditating about it, but also doing that work of putting that effort out and putting that effort forward, then it is going to pay off. Now, this is Capricorn. Capricorn is the sign of the father. It's the sign of the leader, the business person, the boss, all of those things. Things with Capricorn, it's not usually like I do A. Let me not do A. I do 1, and then I do 2, and then 3 comes from it. No, like Capricorn energy is like you have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You're doing all of this work before you do the equal sign, which is a huge amount. So it takes a lot of will to be able to get through this, but the payoff is so much higher. You really like catapult looking for my words, catapult yourself into whatever the next thing is for you, whether that be romance, what we're talking about, work, your passions, how you're approaching things. So this is a very strong card. It takes a lot of will and mental health support, because if you don't have the will, those mental health things start to really take over, because there's not the space to know, like, okay, I know it's hard now, but I'm not even going to sweat this because I'm going to get to the other side. If you don't even have the wherewithal within yourself to know that about yourself, these also are opportunities where you see a lot of people struggling with mental health. But as I say, get as much help as you need, get the support out here that you need, and also just let yourself take a day off. Not having to be perfect, just one day off, maybe 10 minutes off, and just enjoy that moment, and just take a breath out and be like, I'll clock in tomorrow. I don't even care. I'll try to be, I'll work on this perfectionism that mental health wants me to have. But today I'm going to just clock out and just be okay with myself and not give a. And our last card for our Moonology is nothing is set in stone. This card. Nothing is set in stone. This is essentially the same card as this. If I can pick it up. Nothing is set in stone and change. Meaning, no matter who you are, no matter what you've done, you can change things, but it's up to you to do the work. And the work, 9 times out of 10, it's more of courage and less of actual physical work. The physical work, I'm sure you probably don't even have. It's probably not even hard at all. But the courage to put yourself out there. You ever called somebody for a job or something like that? Getting up and talking to somebody on the phone may not be hard. You might be able to talk to your family member, but cold calling somebody, that takes a lot of courage. So that's what I mean here. You have to raise your vibrational energy in order to meet the expectations that you have. And it just takes one thing at a time. And listen to your intuition. Your intuition will say, like I said to me, go to an open mic. I'm like, oh no. But it's like, just go with it and do not think about it. Say yes. Move forward, move on to something else, because if you start to think about it, you'll talk yourself out of it. Just say yes, complete it, and then be receptive to something else. Okay, everybody, I'm so happy that we got to do this. It's been such a long time since we've done cards, but you all did a fantastic job. Remember, you can take any of these, a mixture of these, all of these as your reading, and it's a reading that we have as community rooting us down. So if no one has said it to you today, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I love you. I'm so happy for you. I'm excited for you. Do that hard work, but change that vibrational energy and start really posting in the comments section these beautiful things happening to you. I know that there are quite a few healers coming out. There are quite a few people who are starting new career paths. I love to hear all of that. And I only ask that you post things for the highest vibrational good of the community so we keep this a safe space. Also, shout out to the Sunday Healing 1111, Sunday 1111 group healing, which you can sign up in the description box below. And if you need a little bit more and you want to book a private healing session with me, you can do that in the description box below as well. But until next time, with so much love, gratitude.